Hey everybody, Adam here. So tonight, we are playing Legacy Sneak and Show. And, yep, Travis, you got it. We're playing some Sneak and Show. So, for anyone who has come to the channel for some reason other than Legacy and is not familiar with Sneak and Show, because I assume that all of you who play Legacy are familiar with Sneak and Show. Sneak and Show is a blue-red combo deck featuring Ancient Tomb and City of Traders, both of which are lands that tap for 2 colorless mana. Why on earth do you need these lands that tap for 2 colorless mana? Because your game plan is to cast either Show and Tell or Sneak Attack. Show and Tell, being a 3-mana sorcery, 2 and a blue, each player puts an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land from their hand into play. Same time. Here it is. Sneak Attack is a 4-mana enchantment, 3 and a red, that you activate for a single red to put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield with haste and sacrifice it at the end step. Beginning of the next end step. Important. So, what are we doing with Sneak Attack and Show and Tell? Well, truthfully, we're going to put in one of either Griselbrand or Emrakul and get our opponent dead. Or, we live the full-on dream, and Show and Tell puts in Omniscience, at which point we cast Emrakul, paying 0 mana because Omniscience says so. And then we get an extra turn. And then, in that extra turn, we find, oh, I don't know, maybe a way to take an extra turn. Maybe another Emrakul. Maybe, alongside our initial Emrakul, we also put in a Griselbrand, go to our next turn, and attack for 22. Omniscience very, very good. So, tonight, game plan is put Big Dumb into play, turn Big Dumb sideways, opponent die. So, how do you facilitate this in Legacy? Well, of course, your traditional suite of Ponder and Brainstorm. Furthermore, you're going to use cards like Impulse to dig for extra cards. You have Force of Will and Daze to back up your combo. Just make sure you get to do your thing. We have some Lotus Petals so that we can put a Show and Tell on the stack as soon as turn 1. And finally, we have this small package of 3-mana instants that do silly things. So the first one of these things is Cunning Wish. So Cunning Wish is a 3-mana instant. Choose an instant you control from outside the game, reveal it, put it in your hand, then exile Cunning Wish. So outside of the game, as it pertains to competitive rules, refers specifically to your sideboard. So in our sideboard, we have a few different options of some cool things that we can get to do all sorts of different things. So we have things like Echoing Truth and Trick Bind. Echoing Truth is going to bounce any number of permanents with the same name. Trick Bind is a stifle style effect that counters an activated or triggered ability with split second. Pyroblast, counter target blue spell, destroy target blue thing. Sort of, functionally. Surgical Extraction to deal with things in the graveyard we can't deal with. A Braid to kill a creature, blow up an artifact. Intuition, which we've already stated we have one of in our 60, which says search your library for 3 cards. Show them to your opponent. Your opponent gives you 1. The others go to your graveyard. We're going to show them 3 Emrakuls. Whenever we have the opportunity, we're just going to show them 3 Emrakuls. Or 3 Show and Tells. Or 3 Omniscience. You see the gimmick here? Intuition lets you tutor for whatever combo piece you're missing. So it says, I'm going to find this thing. I'm going to have it. It's mine. You can't stop me. Finally, we have Firemind's Foresight. So Firemind's Foresight is a big, ridiculous 7-mana instant that says, search your library for spell with CMC 3, one with 2, and one with 1. But all doesn't mean great. So, what we're going to look for, usually, is intuition, something like, say, impulse or daze, and then, like, maybe a brainstorm. Show our opponent how they die. Finally, the one card I'm actually unfamiliar with, so for reference, this is Snoopy Magic's recent 3-1 prelim list. The one card I'm not particularly familiar with is... I can't even read it on that screen, so bear with me here. Vampire's Vengeance. So this is a new one from Crimson Vow. Vampire's Vengeance deals 2 damage to each non-vampire creature. Nice. Nice. Very cool. So, 2 damage to each non-vampire creature, create a blood token. Previously, this deck played Kozilek's Return as another kind of instant speed pyroclasm that you could find with Cunning Wish. This one gives us some card filtering. Sure. Seems great. So, yeah. And then the final card on your side. The sideboard things that we can't tutor for with Cunning Wish include Magus of the Moon to shut off things like Caracas. And then Grafdigger's Cage to bully other graveyard decks. We don't really care with this card, so we're just going to beat up on graveyard decks. So, that is the list for tonight. Reasonably stock show and tell list. This is... For anybody who follows Legacy on a pretty regular basis, nice. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you. So, this is a recent top-performing list. Now, my default would have been to go to whatever JPA 93 Jonathan Angelescu was playing. Jonathan's list is like a week or so old at this point, and a little unusual. So while Jonathan is Jonathan is the man for Sneak and Show, he's also a bigger brain than I am, and I'm gonna play the way I know how to bully people. So we're gonna play this. Jonathan's list had moved all copies of Omniscience to the sideboard and was playing Simeon's Spirit Guides main, which I understand, but, no. Yeah. So, yeah, it's, pretty rad. So, this is what we're playing tonight, and, without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into this league and see if we can show them how it's done. Appreciate you guys all joining tonight. I really do. Plenty of ways you could choose to spend your Thursday, but I really appreciate that you've chosen to spend it with me. Correct. Talking about JPA. JPI 93 on Magic Online, aka Jonathan Angelescu. Man, very good casting show and tell. Ooh, we won the die roll. We will certainly play first. This is dicey, but I want to do it. And the reason being that opponent shows Yorion, which means they're either on Zenith or 80 card taxes. And I think that we can just put some idiots into play and do the thing pretty quickly. So I think I'm just going to keep. This finds us Ancient Tomb, we just, like, go. Bonus points if we find, like... bonus points if we find... Ancient Tomb followed by Omniscience. Well, we found the Omniscience, however. I think I need to shuffle this. Excellent. We found our land. I mean, I have a feeling they're gonna think it's Delver. But, J'accuse. Aether Vial. I think Vial is just fine. Like, I don't think I particularly care. Deal. All right. Yeah, right. Not entirely, Greg. So we already knew that our opponent was either Death and Taxes or, well, I guess not at the time. Stoneforge is fine. So I guess at this point I want to fetch. If I hit my land drop, I don't care. Gonna impulse here. Deal? Huh. Yeah, Stoneforge is fine. Opponent finds Cauldra, sure. Gross. Oh, so good. I will cast this show and tell. Omni? Yeah, it Opponent, I choose you. Hey, opponent, which Griselbrand do I get? Greg, this is also why double Emrakul is actually fine. If they had a way to remove that Emrakul, I could just cast the other Emrakul, call it a day. Okay. Meltdown is of, like, minorly okay value. Greg, the answer is Solitude. Solitude is an ability, not a spell. That is a big distinction. Solitude Swords to Plowshares effect is a triggered ability, not a spell. It can tag an Emrakul. Alright. I think I do want 2 Magus. I think, as such, I'm interested in the removal of a Daze. Yeah. I think I'll cut a Daze. And then question mark. The intuition lines still seem great. I think I can shave an impulse. So Jeff, we can actually wish for, like, all of that. The only thing we can't... I guess we can't wish for Meltdown. We can't wish for Magus. But I don't know that the one of Meltdown is necessarily worth it versus taxes. Yeah, file's fine. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does, but we also definitely want to not. I mean, accurate. Yes, opponent. Opponent that does say play. Two weeks of ponder with no shuffle. Oh. Yeah, I'm not particularly terrified. That's enters the saga, sure. Okay. Prelate. Okay. You. So, in case anyone's curious, this is Intuition for Triple Omni. Do I win, opponent? Do I win? So it's kind of hilarious. Opponent sets it on 1. Real talk, I think I want to Cunning Wish for Intuition for Force of Will for Solitude reasons. Is that crazy? I don't think so. Oh, I guess Trick Bind works too. Right? Activated triggered ability, yes. Genius. Biggest brain. Oh, alright, well. Yeah, no, I was just thinking, I was like, I could Cunning Wish for Intuition for Force of Will, to have Force of Will for Solitude, and I'm like, wait a minute. I just have Trick Bind in my sideboard. Just get the Trick Bind? Oh, just the fairest magic, Travis. Just the fairest. Oh. Gross. So, yeah. That's, pretty easy 2-0 versus Death and Taxes. Opponent has no blue cards. Jam, Show, and Tell on the stack. Win target game. Yeah. So, and like, that's part of the reason you play this deck, right? Because, like, sometimes you're just like, oh, you're not playing the card 4 so well. Great, I can beat literally anything you do. Excellent. Yeah. Ooh, Ozymandias. Alright, we won the die roll. We have a Griselbrand. I like this. I expect Ozymandias to play, like, real decks, so... Thinking, yes. Josh, I'm currently considering it, yes. Big fan of Dance Gavin Dance. Volumes is rad. I'm very interested in that ticket. So, it is something that appeals to me a great deal. Sneak Attack, Brainstorm, Force of Will? Don't shuffle? Yeah. Lineup is very good. Yeah, $35 isn't bad. I mean, like, I'm gonna be real. I was seriously willing to consider paying the money to go see When We Were Young. And if I'm willing to pay the money to go see When We Were Young, gross. I'll fetch here. That was also one of the worst brainstorms I've ever seen in my life. Play Scalding Tarn. Say go. Yeah, like, if I'm willing to pay $200 plus to go see When We Were Young, like, the ability to go see, Okay, so opponent's on Jeskai. I like the notion of just Intuition 4 here. I really do. Intuition for Show and Tell. Actually, I think I'll just Intuition for Sneak. Right? Checking deck list. There are 3 sneak attacks in our deck list. Excellent. I think I will Intuition for Sneak Attack. Basic Mountain. Intuition. Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack. Yes, please. Cast this. Cast this one. Play this land. I will force back. Sure do hate everything about that. Gross. Okay. So, real talk. Do I sneak now or sneak on their turn? I could sneak in their end step to keep Griselbrand for my whole turn. I don't think that's worth doing. Yeah, them having Hull Breacher was pretty gross. Our deck does contain Impulse, right? Like, this is worth noting. Our deck does contain Impulse. Lol. Yikes. I will play this other sneak attack. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Mentor resolves. I will play all these cards because my cantrips are dead. I think one of the best cards I could possibly draw right now is the card Firemind's or Cunning Wish. To Cunning Wish for Firemind's Foresight. Solid. Yeah, Walton's shop is holding a 1K at the end of February. I understand. That is what we call another one. 3, 6. This could be very easily lethal here. I'm not sure why opponent didn't... Okay. Yikes. Alright. Okay. Definitely interested in Magus because opponent showed us that they're on Nonsense Caracas. Alright. Cage doesn't matter. Everything else is a tutor target. Sure. Okay. What am I less interested in here? I think I can cut a pedal. I can cut 2 pedals? Yeah, I think I'm cutting 2 pedals here. Alright, we won the die roll again. That ain't it. Okay. Like it's close. All right. Yeah, discover the impossible seems kind of absurd. I mean, like, he's right, though. You could just buy Doomsdays. No one is stopping you. Travis, feel free to drop a link to Discover the Impossible in chat. Card is absurd. I'm gonna fetch here. Gonna brainstorm. Okay.
We got a new song that kind of is self-titled song, and I think it says it best when it can be anything that you love. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
Blast resolves. Got it. Hey. John himself in the building. Hello, friend. How are you? Welcome to the stream. All right. Put this ponder on the stack. Okay. So it's Sneak, Magus, Show. Don't shuffle. Yikes. Oh yeah, Delver Easy's still best deck. It's not close. Reanimator's definitely putting up numbers right now, but like Delver is still the best deck in the format by kind of a lot. I now feel like I stacked these wrong. I should have put the Sneak next, not the Magus. Yeah, Travis, the bot won't have it yet because the card doesn't technically exist yet. That's why I said feel free to drop a link in chat. No, one assuredly should jam combo in this format if you're not jamming exactly Delver. Okay. Whoa, what now? Burn Splashing Blue for Psionic Blast? What year is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Opponent, do you have spell? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's exactsies. Ugh. Gross. If opponent attacks all out, we just die. Yep, that's it. I mean, Josh, I don't know about some dignity. I've seen some of your decks. Some dignity might be a stretch. Josh, I'm here for tough love. I might not tell you the things that you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you the things that you need to hear. Oh. Our opponent didn't want us to show them anything. I'm sad about it. Maybe once or twice. Josh, that's true. That's true. I literally expect you to be on combo at any given time. Josh, turns out I'm also real big on Griseldad.deck right now. Just generically, I think Griselbrand is one of the better cards in the format. That's a decent portion of why Sneak and Show was the flavor of the day. The Twitter poll also contained Reanimator, so like, there's definitely a bias. Ah, Psionic Blast pitches to Force of Will. I see. That's our logic. Pitches to Force of Will must be good. Known Curses Master Repo Cheap on the case here. I am scared. Oh, easy. Okay. That's good for me. I will cast this Ponder. Like, I kind of just want to shuffle this. Dees. Okay, there's the Saga. Yes, I understand. Chrome Mox, certainly. I would prefer you did not, Repo Cheap. I hope you understand. Okay. The pieces are coming together here, friends. I will put back Daze and Cunning Wish. Play this Ponder. I see. It's Cunning Wish, Emrakul, Days. Don't shuffle. Night, Josh. Absolutely, man. I'll be back on Tuesday also if you want to come hang out some more. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. All right. Okay. So, Reaple Cheap, hear me out. Uh-oh, hot dog. Hey! We got there. Alright. Meltdown is a card that I'm interested in. And? Like, this card is okay. Not great. Just okay. I think most of these other cards are, how one says, not great. What do I want in place of this Meltdown? Days? I think we can cut Days. That seems very reasonable to do. I think I will do just that. Okay. So we need a banger, and we need an opponent to not have the card. Well, this is not what I would quantify as a banger. This one pretty good. I will keep. Get rid of one copy of Show and Tell. Opponent is playing Curses. Opponent is the progenitor of the Curses archetype, Reaple Cheap. Curse Dad himself. Foundry is fine. I will cast this Ponder while I'm allowed to. Huh. I want to shuffle this. Deece. I think I will play this Lotus Petal while I'm allowed to. Chalice of the Void on 1 is going to resolve. Kind of thought that might be the case. Okay. We are looking for the card Cunning Wish. Creatures, enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. Okay. I will choose not to put this Scalding Tarn in. It doesn't matter. Scalding Tarn is a swamp because of Urborg. Dees. Okay, so our 1-drops are off. I think that we may have lost this game. The cards I'm currently interested in include Cunning Wish, and I suppose Impulse? Certainly. Thanks, I hate it. I like shaving one of the mirror, Josh. I respect that. Or, John. Yeah. We're dying very quickly. Okay. And we're taking 7 on our turn. I have not the ability to do what you're asking. Okay. Yep. I don't think anything changes. I need a hand that's faster than this. I will play out this Lotus Petal just to get around Trinisphere, things of that nature. Oh. Okay. That's gonna resolve. I wish for to put this sneak attack into play. Okay. So if opponent has another Soul Land, just Karn Lattice, that would be truly and supremely unfortunate, and there's not a thing I could do about it. Down. If. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't there anyway. I was kind of curious to see if it was there. No, we were okay. Like three cards deeper yet. Yikes. Oh, big oof. All right, well, that is truly unfortunate. It's a touch unlucky. GG's Repo Jeep. Yeah, it was, the idiot was 3 cards deeper than my draw step. So, I nowhere near. Just nowhere near. Yeah, the card was savage. I kind of expected you would put in Curse off of Omni in game 2. I think I was almost more scared of Karn, and it just never shook out like I needed it to. This is reasonable. We have a Griselbrand. I will keep. We have Griselbrand, we have cantrips. All of this seems fine. Yup. Sure. You got it. Bayou Cabal Therapy. Gas. Yes. Ponder, Show and Tell, Island. Shuffle your library. No. Got it. Okay. Land? Pedal? Show and Tell. Omni? Reasonable. You got Moxie. Opponent, opponent in chat, well, 4-letter expletive. Oh, sick. Oh, okay. I'm bringing in Grafdigger's Cage. Do I think Magus of the Moon is a card worth considering? Not likely. I think, what are my options here? Opponent showed me Therapy. I think that I want to be on lines involving Omni or Sneak. Oh, I mean, Greg, that's fair. But Magic Online, however, would not let me know which 4-letter expletive they used. So I am unsure as to which particular 4-letter expletive it was. I think I'm cool cutting a Daze. Yeah? I mean, well, shit also seems like a pretty reasonable thing that could have occurred out of opponent there. I mean, I don't hate this. Double Cunning Wish is a little weird, but, like, we're very close. Needle resolves. Which one? Is it Sneak? Is it? It is Sneak. Okay. Excellent. I must find mana sources. None of these are mana sources. This is a mana source. I accept. Yeah, Greg, for a long time I would hide the chat box on Magic Online. A big part of why I started using it was because it's become like a more reasonable place to like interact with humans. Whereas once upon a time it was quite toxic. I will take Mountain. I will cast Impulse. I will take land. Any order is fine. That's even better. I will present this show and tell. I'm not sure. I think Chalice is part of the answer. I think it's just respect to Chalice of the Void. Yes. Like that's the major I guess also Impulse gets around Narset and Hull Breacher where Preordain does not. That's another consideration there. And given that Jeskai with all the wheels and garbage is like a pretty common deck, I think that's a... Okay. That's fine. We're just gonna set this up again over a couple of turns. I like, that's okay. It's gonna be end step Cunning Wish for Impulse, or for Intuition, untap. Intuition for triple Show and Tell. Excuse me? What a world. I think LDV is like pretty reasonable. Cunning Wish. Yes. Intuition. Okay. JK just drew it. Okay. Opponent's just done. Yeah, Grixis seems pretty hot. Alright. So the last one. So this is the deal breaker. Do we get our chest and play points back, or are we that ain't it. This is greedy. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. This is greedy.
Give me a long neck bottle of beer so I can drink. It's been a long, hard day. I can hardly think. I got unwrapped gifts and burned out lights, and the stockings are empty, and I'm fighting with the wife. So give me a long neck bottle of beer so I can drink. Give me just one good shot of that whiskey that you just bought.
Seen enough. It's, enough of them. Greg, the answer is enough of them.
I got jacked from a spot about 18 times. I got the flowing hepatitis from standing in line.
I'm gonna fetch.
Neck bottle of beer so I can drink.
Do we go?
I said, oh,
We just go, right?
it's Christmas time. You can bet your ass you're gonna be the last person in line. Well, the eggnog's lovely and the fruitcake's dry. My electric
Cast with Omni.
be sky high. So give me a long neck bottle of
Draw 7.
so I can drink.
Cast with Omni. D's. Oh, this is dumb. Opponent's deck contains Wooded Foothills, Knight of the Reliquary. I feel like I'm interested in the card Grafdigger's Cage. Given that opponent's deck also contains Knight of the Reliquary, I also think that I am potentially interested in the card Magus of the Moon. If I expect that opponent's deck contains cards like Karakas and Maze of Ith due to the presence of Knight of the Reliquary, and I expect that their deck contains the card Green Sun Zenith, I think the things that I'm interested in cutting involve an Impulse. I think I'm cool shaving a Daze. Yeah, it's so dumb. This deck is dumb. I think we can cut a Force of Will, right? Like, this feels like a matchup we can cut a Force of Will. I feel like I'm gonna be a lunatic and cut a Force of Will. I mean, let's be real. Garfield invented Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Twister. I thought about it, Greg. We're gonna mulligan this one. We're gonna mulligan that one. Yikes. I want to go on record here, right? Like, I didn't cut a land. I didn't cut a one-mana cantrip. Gonna mulligan again. I'm gonna keep. We're gonna ship Daze, Brainstorm. I'm gonna ship both Brainstorms. I think I'm gonna keep Ponder. Ponder means I don't get completely hosed. Can someone explain to me how I got so good at this game? Deus? No. Confirmed Lotus was not fine when you cast 3 Curd Apes either, as it turns out. When your turn 1 was like basic forest, Lotus, triple Curd Ape, Mox, Sapphire, Time Walk, untap, smash for 6. Promise it wasn't okay. I've played enough old school. Nice. How the kids say, got him. That's unfortunate. So opponent appears to be some sort of loam deck. Yeah, that's fine. Yikes. Uh-oh, hot dog. Didn't expect that one. We might be dead, team. Oh, okay. Chuck Hughes. Joke's on you. How are you going to beat 2 Omniscience, opponent? I mean, the truth of the matter is they're going to use this Sylvan Library to dig for Chain of Smog, and I'm going to die. Like, that's where we're at. Opponent's going to put a Chain of Smog on the stack, and I'm going to concede. Wild. Yes. Opponent, am I dead? Yup. That doesn't kill me. Okay. Sneak. Magus? Sneak. Land. Go. Could. Oh, it'll do artifacts. I'm just not particularly concerned with that at the moment. Like, I am more concerned with what could... I mean, I've played some weird stuff. I might play some more weird stuff at some point. Greg, specifically, I'm not particularly worried. I'm more worried about what they could put in off of show and tell right now than I am having this Cajun play. Their spells are now basically uncastable because I've locked them under this Magus of the Moon. Yep. Sure. Opponent, you did notice the 2 sneak attacks in play, right? Okay. Yeah, also, Travis, like, I have mentioned in the last few streams that if anyone is ever interested in submitting a deck list, they are welcome to do so. Sick. Let's go. Alright. So, we did the thing. Show and tell still a big dumb pile of Magic cards. Thoughts overall. While I understand this card and the card that this is the place this card is held historically, I personally would much rather that card be give me a minute. New green card, course at 20 or 21. Oh dear. I gotta forget what this... No, not Stoneforge Mystic. Turns out, no. Nope, not Veil of Summer. It's a big dumb, like, 6 or 7 mana card. Oh god, like, I own a copy. I own a pre-release foil of this card, and I can't remember what it's called. It sees playing all the Omnitel builds. Basically, the deal is that you cast it off Omni, and then you go find both the Griselbrand and the Emrakul, and just, here they both are, go. Yes, shared summons. Thank you. Shared summons. Yep, I would much rather Firemind's Foresight be shared summons, personally. Though I understand the place Firemind's Foresight has held historically. Firemind's Foresight is a card that gives you a lot of options. It allows you the ability to say, okay, I'm gonna get a... Yeah, Firemind's Foresight says, I'm gonna get, you know, intuition or show and tell or whatever it might be, right? No, it's I'm gonna get intuition, I'm gonna get impulse, I'm gonna get brainstorm. So that way, when I intuition for Trip Emrakul or whatever, right, if that something goes wrong, I can brainstorm in response to find more cards to try to stop you. I get that. I would much rather play shared summons and just lock the kill into place. Furthermore, I think a big piece of the Firemind's Foresight value is missing from this list, and that is specifically the card Flusterstorm. I think that if you are going to put Firemind's Foresight in your Cunning Wish board for Sneak and Show, your deck should contain some number of copies of Flusterstorm. This list has 0. I don't love that. So, Greg, the answer to your question is because when I started looking at lists tonight after seeing the poll results, my first default, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, was what is JPA 93, Jonathan Angulescu, playing? JPA, at the time, his list was weirder than this. His list has taken the Omnis and moved them to the sideboards and is playing Simian Spirit Guides main. Which I don't hate. I don't hate Monkey. Monkey is actually kind of rad in this deck. But I wanted Omni. So, I found a list from a player who had been putting up reasonable results pretty consistently, playing Sneak and Show. This was the list they were playing. And I thought, okay, like, I could add Fluster, I could add... But I think that it is more valuable for me to play the list verbatim and understand the choices they made and why, rather than jump into. Because, like, having access to a Flusterstorm as part of your Firemind's Foresight package is, like, not new tech. So, it was an active choice for this player to not do that. They made the active decision to not play Flusterstorm when playing Firemind's Foresight. Why? Okay. And so the reality is, I don't think that reason came up in this league. I don't think that there was a position where I wanted to Cunning Wish for a Firemind's Foresight with an Omni in play at all. Like, usually if I was casting Omni, I was like, okay, like, I want to get him dead. You know, if I have a Cunning Wish, I'm going to Cunning Wish for, like, Intuition, and then Intuition for Trip Emrakul, and just, like, murk my opponent on the spot. And I think that's why I prefer shared summons to Firemind's Foresight. I don't want my big, dumb Cunning Wish target that I'm going to cast off Omniscience. I don't want that setup card version to be a backup plan. I want that to say, you have died. Please see that your life total is adjusted to 0, or find the concede button. Thank you, goodbye. And I wanted to test this as it was to determine if that was the case. And I still believe that. Furthermore, I will say, I was questioning whether or not I would want the red right now for sneak attack and blast and everything. All of that felt great. That felt excellent. I have been a big proponent for Blue X Omnitel for quite some time now. Because of all of the tools that Omnitel specifically has gotten recently, I've been a really big fan of cutting red in favor of other colors. Sneak and Show felt really good tonight. Felt very, very good. Do I think I would prefer it to Blue-White Omni? Maybe. I think Teferi Time Raveler is a messed up Magic card. And I think having access to Teferi Time Raveler in your big, dumb, idiot combo deck is absolutely absurd. But Sneak Attack felt really good. Having access to Magus and Pyroblast and Meltdown and Abrade, all of that felt very good. Like, this felt solid. I think that some of the changes I would make, if I were to continue playing Sneak and Show, I think that I would either cut some amount of these 2-drops in favor of Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm. Probably Flusterstorm. And if I didn't do that, I would cut Firemind's Foresight from the sideboard altogether, and then I would bring in, I would get shared summons. And if I were going to play shared summons, maybe even, like, start looking at shaving some of this other stuff, or, like, find a way to make it, like, true garbage time. I also see that there are no copies in this deck anywhere of Force of Negation. That feels strange. I understand that you need a density of cards here, but I think Force of Negation is a very good card that is easy to play. Yeah, who knows? So I guess I'll put this out there now, and everybody, my Twitter is down below. Most of you know how to reach me on various social media platforms. Please do so. I'm considering playing the Mana Trader series on the channel this month. This month's Mana Trader series is Legacy. I'm looking at playing something like this. Either Reanimator or Show and Tell or some big dumb combo deck. Is that something people would be interested to see? If I were sitting here jamming Legacy every stream, playing some big dumb combo deck through the Mana Trader series, is that something somebody would want to watch? Johnny, yeah, I get that. Like, that is, I do completely understand that. My thought is that there's enough going on in your opponent's turns right now, between, like, the Echoes decks, Karn Garbage, the Days Undoing decks. Like, the ability to have access to Force of Negation, I think, is, like, super, super reasonable right now. And I think this deck, this version, is at odds with itself. Because this build exactly has Days. We have no Flusterstorm, no Force of Negation. Which means that we're primarily worried about defending ourselves in the early turns for as cheap as possible. Hence Force of Will and Days, right? If that is the case, if our game plan is get them dead in the early turns as quick as possible and use the spells that back up your combo, why is this not shared summons? This should be shared summons if that is the plan. And so that's where it's weird, and that's where I don't get the lack of Force of Negation in this list specifically. So, but again, I'm really looking at playing the Mana Trader series, playing some Legacy, jamming a bunch of combo. If that's something you'd all be interested in watching, go ahead, shoot me a tweet, message me on Facebook if that's a way that you know how to get at me. No, Travis, this list is post-Monkey Ban. Getting me on Facebook, getting me on Discord, whisper me here on Twitch. I may not see it immediately. I'm gonna be real with a lot of you. I don't check my Twitch whispers super often, but I do check them. I will get back to you, I promise. But yeah, reach out to me if you would be interested in seeing me play Legacy combo decks through the stream, or through the Mana Trader series, then let me know. Greg, yes. If my tiny brain can figure out how to raid another human, we can absolutely do a raid on somebody. What is it? Who are you looking to raid? Legacy Pit, yes. Bear with me just a moment while I small brain right through this. Okay. Go to raid channel. All right. Alright, so, for anybody watching out there, thank you again for joining. I will be back again next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in seeing me grind the Mana Trader series, which is Legacy this month, reach out to me. If you're interested in playing the Mana Trader series yourself this month, it's Legacy. Should be sweet. But that's it for me for tonight. We're going to send this over to the Legacy Pit, and you all enjoy the rest of your night. cheers. Have a good weekend. Bye, everybody. Yes. Excellent. Did it go? Did we do the thing? Somebody yell at me in chat if this has not worked.